channel. So today we are talking, so I asked a few people on my Instagram if they had any questions, and I got the shock of my life. I could not believe some of the things that people assumed about me. So today this video is just going to answer some of the things that came up that definitely need to be addressed, you know, things that definitely need to be addressed. So yeah, feel free to listen to me as you clean, as you cook, as you run your bath, as you walk your dog. Just listen along, okay? Just tune in. Okay, so the first question I'm just going to address is the question that came up the most. Am I single? Someone else actually asked if I am engaged because of this ring. Number one, I am not engaged. The question was along the lines of, are you engaged? And if not, what is the meaning of the ring you wear on your hands? And so the meaning of this ring on my finger, when I started making my way back to God, I wanted to stop fornicating. And so in my bid to stop fornicating, I stopped talking to a lot of people that could potentially have dated because they wanted sex and I did not. So I got to a point where I was aching to meet some person, I was aching to meet someone, and I wanted to get married, and I wanted the ring. So I thought to myself, hey, like, what is the best way to remind me that I am saving myself for my future husband? But I also I like how it looks, you know. I like how it looks. Potentially in a few years, it might just be on the right side. So it might just be on the left side. So I thought to myself, okay, let me just get myself a purity ring. It's not essentially a purity ring anymore because it's not necessarily a purity ring in the strictest sense, but it carries the same value. It's there to remind me that I'm saving myself for marriage, re-saving myself for marriage, and I like the look, you know. So yeah, and then moving on to am I single, which was the question I got the most. I believe you can be only one of 4 marital statuses. So you are either married, single, annulled, or divorced. And so I am single. I am not married. I am an unmarried young woman. I am not married, and so yeah, I am not married. We'll stop there. Something else that came up was, I really like the way you always look so polished and refined, and I admire that a lot. I would love to get some tips from you. So the first thing is, I'm really grateful. I'm so honored. I can't believe that someone actually said this. Like, it's such a beautiful thing to say to someone else. Such a compliment, such a lovely compliment. So thank you very much. As to the tips, I don't actually think there's like a tip to say do this or do that, but I would highly recommend taking time to figure out your look. Try to merge the pieces that you have for the look that you'd like to communicate with people. Okay, this question actually cracked me up. This was not a question, this was an assumption. So this assumption says, I have always assumed that we are going to get married. So technically, I am not God. I am not God. So who am I to say, oh, it will happen, or oh, it will not happen? Yeah. If it is in God's plans for him, if it's in God's plans for us to get married, it will happen. But like, if it's not, that is it, it's gonna happen. So definitely I I'm a young single woman. I'm not married. I am a young unmarried woman, so I cannot attest to the fact that this will happen. This will not happen because I am not God. I am not God. Okay, I am not God. Anyway, moving on to the next question. It was a question that asked what really challenged my faith, something that has really challenged my faith. To be honest, I think I would have two at this point. Some time ago, I met a person I really, really, really liked, but things could not go ahead. Things could not proceed because of my values as a young Christian woman. And at that time, I was aching to be in a relationship. So it was painful to have to let go of that person that I was getting to know. And so it really challenged my faith, because in the process, my thought process and just figuring out and thinking of what to do, I actually did consider, you know, like, maybe it's not such a bad thing. Like, if we're gonna get married, maybe it's not such a bad thing. But eventually I did not, because I had to put my relationship with God first. Anything that costs your walk, anything that costs your salvation, anything that costs the salvation of your soul, the redemption of your soul, is too expensive. And that's the way I looked at it. You know, if you can't afford something, you don't buy it. So that for me was the one thing that continuously rang in my head. The second thing, so something that has challenged my faith is, the first one would be not being able to date the people that I would have potentially liked to date. Number two, sometime this year when we're doing Lent and Gummies, if you've been around long enough to actually watch, to follow Lent and Gummies, you would know that on some days my eyes were teary, I was down, and that was because, you know, like, I applied to different schools. I have a distinction degree, but schools that I wanted were not taking me. So it was so heartbreaking. Like, I have a distinction degree, why won't you take me? You know? And then when I finally got to the point where I realized, hey, like, you can have all the distinctions in the world, and if that's not something God has for you in his plans at the moment, it's just not going to happen. So I think this it really challenged my faith, because I found myself having to lean on God more and more and more, and it is not easy. It's not easy. It is not easy to just, you know, walk with God at times, because your relationship with God will impact all your decisions. Your relationship with God will impact who you date. It will impact what you do in your life. It will impact. Okay, and then the next question, well, the other question I got was, what scripture has spoken to you recently? Okay, so my favorite would have to be Psalm 30. The scripture that has spoken to me recently has been Psalm 34, verse 5. It says, I sought the Lord and he answered me. From all my fears, he delivered me. Other translations say, from my worst fears, the Lord delivered me. And I think this is something I can totally relate with. This is something I can totally relate with, because it is true. Like, in the past 3-4 months, I had fears about how things would go, what route my career was going in, was taking, if things would take shape and all that. And God just delivered me from my worst fears. And so definitely this is the scripture that has been speaking to me the most. Of course, there's lots of scriptures. I mean, I love the sounds of, you know me, you know I love the sounds. So next question, how are you so organized? Hey God, I cannot actually believe that someone asked this question. I hadn't noticed. I think the first thing to note would be that God is a planner. You know, like God plans ahead. You know, God tells us in his word that he has knit us from the time we were in our mother's womb, and he has good plans for us, and he knows the plans that he has for us. And so because God knows the plans that he has for us, it simply means that God is a planner. He plans ahead and he directs our footsteps. So the first thing, well, the second thing would be to realize that order is a fruit of your relationship with God. I think it's a gift to begin with. It's a gift. But let's just say you're not Christian and you're just wondering, so like, how do I become organized? The only way to become organized is to plan ahead. Just plan ahead. Do things ahead of time. Think things through. So if you have people who are beneath you, who look to you for care, you need to ensure that you put in all the appropriate measures to make sure that life is easier for them. The only way you can do this is by putting yourself in their position and thinking. So being organized just really goes down to what state of life you are in. If you are a young single woman, you have to plan your life ahead. If you are a young mom, you have to plan your life ahead. You have to consider your spouse, you have to consider your child, you have to consider the needs of your child and how you are actually going to take care of your child. So you anticipate the needs of those people who depend on you and plan accordingly. If it's just for yourself, you anticipate your needs and you anticipate the needs that might come up in a few days time, and you just plan accordingly. Here, okay. It says, how are you? You know, to be very honest, I think I'm okay. I'm good. I really am good. I've just oh my gosh, this is like a completely different thing, but I got scammed. Someone scammed me. Someone stole money from me. A thief stole money from me. A thief scammed me. A thief took my money. A thief took my money from me. And so, yeah, besides that, I bought 10 pairs of shoes and the trades decided to send me only 5 after 10. And this was just so shocking because I had dealt with this person in the past. We had worked together. We had worked with each other for like 2 years, and then he just decided to do this to me. So I just did not understand. I asked him for the money back. He would not send it. I asked him to send the shoes. He would not send them. So I found myself having to send the customer the initial amount that I'd sent to the trader and the profit that I had made. So so besides that, like, it just really broke my heart. I won't lie, because I mean, it was a lot of money, so it broke my heart. It really did. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. But besides that, yeah, I'm good. Thank you for asking. Someone said that they thought I was a snob, and to be honest, I'm not gonna argue. Like, this was in high school though. This person knew me from high school. This person has known me since high school, and this person said, oh, in high school I thought you were a snob. And you know what, it's okay, because a lot of people that I went with probably think the same thing. So I will not argue. I will not try to defend myself. But that's the thing, like, that was me without God. Like, me without God. You do not want to associate yourself with me. Me without God. You want nothing to do with me. Me without God. You don't want to get onto my bad side. So like, the good thing is that God calls us up. You know, God calls us up and he cleans us up and he makes us new creations. And I am basically a new creation. So that girl, of course I did enjoy some of the memories from high school, but like, I'm not entirely that person anymore, you know. Like, so much has changed, I've grown. So yeah, she also went on to say, oh, but now I realize you're not. So thank you for clearing it up, sis. Thank you so much. And then the next thing, someone else on the same point, someone else said that they believed that I was difficult to talk to. And to be very honest, I believe, you know, like, well, they said it's not true, but like, a lot of people seem to say to me that I seem intimidating to start talking to, and to be honest, that actually might be true in some settings, because I mean, I tend to be busy most of the times that I bump into a lot of people, so I am very serious faced. I'm going somewhere, I'm doing something. I can't just be laughing in the road, laughing in the street. I have to be, you know, to keep it lit, you know. So besides that, I just generally don't like too many people in my private circle. So I've realized the more you are open to a lot of people, the more you have to deal with a lot of rubbish. And that's just, for me, I just don't like rubbish. I don't like dealing with rubbish. I don't like problems. I don't like problems. I don't like dealing with a lot of issues and all that stuff, and people just come with that. So I may seem like that in a bit to repel all that bad energy that some people bring, you know. But like, if you get to know me, when you get to know me, you'll realize, as girls, I'm probably the nicest person. I'm such a nice person. This is a Blow My Own Trumpet 101. That's a very interesting question. It says, stay-at-home mom versus working mom. Like, am I working towards being a stay-at-home mom or a working mom? And for me, it is definitely a working mom. I believe that my vocation as a mom is something not to be neglected, but I also believe that before I'm a mom, because I'm not a mother right now, my vocation is to pursue the work of God in development economics, in the form of development economics. So definitely this is something very close to my heart. I would like to be an economist, and so definitely it would have to be working mom. I'll put my kids first, my family first, but definitely a working mom. Yeah, I would also love to do consultancy work. If I have to stay at home at one point or the other, I definitely would not mind being a consultant and just getting, you know, time to spend with my kids and also, you know, work. Guys, that is all we have for today. Do not forget to subscribe, like the video, and please share it on your socials. I would really appreciate it. And when you do, please tag me, you know, tag me, and let me know. Comment. Let me know if you enjoyed the video, if there's anything else you'd like to know, and we can do something about that in the future. Have a lovely week ahead, guys. May God continue to bless you and keep you and just give you the desires of your heart, and may God give you the greatest gift, which is to draw you closer to himself, and that you may walk with him. Bye.